Hi everybody, my name is Kimberley and welcome to our next Ascension Teachings Q&A. So today I'm going to be bringing forth Archangel Zadkeil. And Archangel Zadkeil is voted on members of our Patreon community, and we have our lovely members joining us. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
All right, so before I'll go into trance and bring forth Zadkeil, I have a pre-channeled message I'm going to first read out for you. All right. I am here to assist you in the navigation of truth and in the navigation of your journey through your multidimensional experience. You are the ones heralding in a new human evolution, both in mind and in consciousness. You are journeying through realms that have not been experienced before in your present reality timeline. You are the masters that are activating this current evolution shift and activating collective contracts to move the human race to a physical expression of unity in both body, mind, and consciousness. Your body is awakening to the truth of your creation, that you are indeed more than human. This shift in bodily and energetic systems within will herald unity consciousness in collective awareness. I wish to come through to remind you of your essence, remind you of your gifts, and remind you of your collective purpose. I'm here to be your guide as you birth new creation and birth a new collective reality. All right, well, that's Zadkeil. And I'm very looking forward to bringing him through, even though archangels are not feminine or masculine. Zadkeil does have a slight masculine energy. So I'll bring forth Zadkeil through for you, and we'll see you all on the other side. Hello, D1s. It is Zadkeil coming through. It is my honor to come through in this way. It is my honor to share with you the essence of your being and the essence of your creation and the essence of your evolution journey. D1s, as you know, this is the time of the greatest consciousness expansion has ever occurred in humankind. It is an evolution that has been foreseen, that has been created since the time of your very creation. You were created to allow you to be expanded, to allow you to exist, to allow you to be at this point where you are today. This is a pivotal point in your creation story, in your evolution journey. And you are creating, you are heralding a new era of consciousness, a new era of human evolution. You are seeing the shifts in your society. You are feeling and witnessing the shifts within your very being. This is not by accident. What is occurring in your world, what is occurring in your society is all part of this consciousness shift. My dear ones, because of these shifts, because of this paradigm change, you as a evolution, you as a human race is expanding, is multiplying. And because of this, it is creating in your terminology, a division. It is creating a contrast, a dualistic notion of humankind, a human race that is fear-based and those that are in love-based dimensions. This is part of the evolution process. And my dear ones, this is a normal part of the process. You may be seeing there is much chaos in your society. It is in alignment to the evolutionary shift. Understand that this is just the collective letting go of the programs, letting go of these codes that have allowed them to expand to such a point in their reality, that allowed them to expand in accordance to their soul contracts and in accordance to the collective soul contracts. However, now in this time, you may see this split occurring, but understand that this split is only temporary. This split is just the result of the contrast, is just a result of the dimensions within them being brought forth into the surface. You are multidimensional beings, and you exist in this dimension, and you exist now, in the present now, in many different dimensions at once. Dimensions based in fear and love, because you as a human collective are attached to duality consciousness. You are attached to the paradigm of fear and love. Understand that this is a program that was created. It is a evolutionary tool for all collectives. This is how the universe expands. So understand that what may be perceived as turmoil is a normal part of the evolutionary shift. It is we would say, the dimensions that people have ignored. There are those who are on this journey, those who are awakened and not awakened in your terminology, who are exploring these fear dimensions, these fear paradigms, but understand that everybody is experiencing some form of fear dimension in their reality. It just may not mean that you are vibrating in it within your present now reality. Some people, because they have not, we would say, have gone and taken the inward journey, these dimensions, these aspects of them, because yes, all dimensions are all part of the human experience, are all part of the human paradigm. For those who have rejected these paradigms within them, they have not addressed these paradigms are now being forced to be brought forth to the surface within them, brought forth and manifested into the conscious reality and the conscious awareness in the present now. This is why you are seeing a lot of fear expressed in your society. Understand that everyone who is experiencing fear is also going through the awakening process. Those of you who are now vibrating in a perspective of love, in a dimension of love, for those of you who are seeing the world from the highest truth that all is happening for you, you have done the work. And this is why now these paradigms of fear is not at the forefront for you. Understand that this work is necessary for the collective to move and to let go more of these dualistic dimensions based in fear. Understand that there is always going to be a polarity, because that's how the universe expands and that is how source experiences itself. But understand that polarity does not mean it has to go further into fear. Understand that polarity can be also still perspectives of love. It's just different angles and different perspectives of love. It is a perception change that is occurring for the human collective. It is the same, we would say, a process, even though it's manifested differently for the human race. It is a process that all collectives throughout all the universe has gone through as they remember more of their oneness state, because who you are is oneness. So it is time now in this shift where you are being called to face your shadows, where you are being called to unite those dimensions, to make friends with those dimensions, and transmute that fear into acceptance, transmute those energies into what truly is happening, and that it is all happening for you out of love and oneness remembrance. Yes, there are many players that are in your reality. You have soul families, and we would say there are people that are also playing roles for the collective expansion to trigger you, to catalyze you. Understand that there is no evil players here. Understand that in higher truth, all players are here to assist you out of love for your evolution. This is a shift that is being, we would say, witnessed quite overtly in your society, because it is now being pulled to the surface. Understand you've always experienced and explored dimensions of fear, but it is now in this time of the greatest evolution where you are now being forced to face your shadows. Understand that your shadows are not to be feared. Understand your shadows are also your friend. It is just how you perceive your shadows. It is about perceiving your shadows from a point of curiosity, from a point of being open to the gifts within it. By you embracing your shadows, by you embracing and exploring your fears open-heartedly, you will discover your true gifts. And by transmuting these dimensions from a point of love and acceptance, from vibrations of love, you unite those dimensions within you. And that is what oneness remembrance is. And that's what is oneness in action in your human experience. You are multidimensional beings, but you are also one. Understand, my dear ones, that all beings and all dimensions are reflections, projections of you, projections of source, which you are. Understand that all fear is just a distortion of the truth of who you are. That is love, my dear ones. You are able to create in your reality by understanding these dimensions, by understanding that you have the keys here to unlock your creation potential. Understand now that because these programs are now coming to the surface, because your very DNA is now being activated to allow you to be more in the front seat, so to speak, in your creation abilities, you are now more easily able to see through the veil, so to speak. You are now more easily able to consciously create from your dimensional experiences. If you have these fear paradigms coming into your conscious awareness, that is there for you. If it is coming up for others in the collective, it is also for them. Understand that all of these dimensional experiences is actually all part of the Great Awakening, and it's the Great Awakening to know that all is love. Understand that there are many soul contracts in play here, but you as a collective are now playing out collective soul contracts. You wanted this division. You knew by coming here in this time that this division will eventually propel you into oneness remembrance. So although it may be challenging for you for some, and it might be challenging for you to understand others' actions and others' perceptions, know that they are just as enlightened as you. They are just playing the game differently to you because of their soul contracts, because of their intentions. Understand that those of you who are attracted to these teachings, those of you who are the Lightworkers and the Wayshowers, who have been able to embrace their shadows to allow their light to shine even brighter, you are the ones who will be the guides for the collective. You'll be the Wayshowers for the collective. You'll be asked, in your terminology of time, you are now bringing in more of your abilities in a quicker manner. And in this time of great preparation, it is a time of unlearning, and it's time of remembering, and you will be required to use your voice, to use your gifts, to shine your light, to be the way shower. So understand this is why you have been in, say, preparation before others. This is why you have done all the work. So you are able to be that beacon of light for others that are still in fear, to be able to shine the light for them, to give them comfort, to know that this is only a brief stage. It is a stage of evolution that is not wrong. It is a stage of evolution that is required for the collective. Now, depending on your paradigm existence, you may perceive some paradigms as wrong, some perspectives as wrong, but understand that everything that has occurred in this great shift is happening for you. You may question why are certain things happening. You may question your victim mentality, what it is to be a victim and what it is to be a source creator. Understand in true reality that everything that has occurred in your own reality, everything that is occurring in the collective reality has been pre-chosen by you. And yes, this might be challenging for you to hear this, but understand that from a non-physical perspective, from your essence, before being born here, you chose to be born in this time of great awakening. You chose to go through certain soul lessons. You chose to actively be a part of this great collective shift because of how powerful you are. Yes, just by you being here in this time shows how powerful you are. And because you have chosen to be born through Gaia in this time, you have all the abilities, you have all the skills, you have all the technologies within you to access, to assist you in this journey. It is time to remember your power, dear ones. You are no longer victims. It is time to remember your sovereignty. It is time to remember your God state. You are divine beings. Everyone that exists here are divine beings. Understand that any perspective, any paradigms of victim mentality, any paradigms of fear are just distortions, but understand that distortions are also for you. But understand that it is a distortion. Understand it's not a truth of who you are. You are one. You are source. How can you not be divine? You are so powerful, my dear ones. And it is time of the greatest expansion for humankind when you are remembering this for yourselves consciously. And this is why the shifts are required to occur at this stage. This is why so many of you, as you let go of this programming, as you unite these paradigms of fear and transmute them into oneness remembrance, you will then activate further aspects of your ethereal DNA and your ethereal bodies and light bodies to allow you to bring online, so to speak, to bring forth your divine psychic abilities, your abilities from the stars, your knowings from the stars, your knowings of your divine essence. It'll be activated and brought forth into your conscious awareness. And this is why this is occurring. So the collective can be one in conscious remembrance. It is all happening for you. Trust that is happening for you. Trust that you are never alone on your journey. Trust that you have the abilities to overcome all the challenges that you are experiencing. Understand that those who have perceived to have suffered during this time of great awakening was something that they have chosen pre-birth, was something that they have decided to play in this game of great expansion with the roles of others to assist in this collective shift. Give thanks to those who have suffered in your terminology. Give thanks to everyone in your reality. Give thanks to everyone that triggers you. Give thanks to everyone that shows you the love and light of who you are. For all beings are assisting you in your evolutionary journey. Know that all beings are reflections of you, of the one, of source. It is time to look for the God state in all others. Can you, in your reality, can you see the divine in all beings? It might be challenging for some to do this, but understand that they are you. Understand that you are one with all that is, my dear one. It is my honor to come through in this way, dear ones. Dear ones, do you have any questions today?
I do.
Hello, dear one.
Hello. I would like to ask around, sometimes I feel there's a gap between physical entities or loved ones within my family or friends or coworkers or whoever I experience, right? And I understand that they're my brothers and sisters and they are playing a role for me and it's all out of love. But what was interesting was like they said, you know, you see everything is perfect, you see everything is right, and I just felt that soul, that entity, my loved one, needed me to relate to her pain, to acknowledge her pain that she was going through at this time, and I was just curious. Am I feeling a gap? Is there a gap that I am sensing?
Dear one, everyone is on their own soul journeys. And because of this, there will be different levels, so to speak, of awareness. Understand, because you're at the forefront of understanding, you may perceive there is a gap, but understand that everyone is enlightened. They've only forgotten their enlightened state. To bridge a perception of a gap, to assist as the light workers and the Wayshowers, is to shine your light, to shine your love. That is who you are. And an aspect, a frequency of the light that you are, of the love that you are, is compassion, is understanding. So yes, by you being able to sit with their pain, their perception of pain, by you being able to be in acceptance of it, by you being able to be compassionate with them, with their pain, for their pain, you allow an energy shift to occur. Even though consciously they might not be aware of what is occurring, by you being with them in that energy of compassion, of empathy, you then allow certain activations to occur within them. And we would say it plants a seed, so to speak. It allows them, it gives them permission to let go of more of these dimensions of fear. It gives them permission to let go of these attachments of fear paradigms. So understand, even if consciously they might not appreciate your love, understand that on a non-physical level, on an energetic level, on a DNA level, there becomes certain activation and certain shifts occurring because of that. It allows them, their heart center, to open further into the awareness of who they are. So understand that even though they may not be able to see who they truly are, by you being there from a paradigm of love, by sitting there, by you being there, whether it's physically or being there remotely, but making your intentions to connect and send the energy of love, of compassion, of acceptance, you then bridge the gap, so to speak. You then allow them to blossom more into who they truly are, because you are one. You can affect energies through the paradigms of love. Understand that by you making the intention to connect from love paradigms, you then activate further that love paradigm within them, because all is connected. And you increase your connection here. Understand that you also have soul families. Your physical family is but one. soul family, and you have many other soul families. And then you also have your collective human soul family. So we could say there are different dimensions of soul families here, but understand that you are all connected. And understand that everyone is perfectly on their path for what they chose to explore here. So even if they are in intense paradigms of fear, understand that it is for them. Understand it is for them. It's being brought forth to the surface for them to address, for them to be able to transmute and unite into oneness remembrance. If you can be from a place of love and acceptance, when you are able to let go of judgments of their perceptions, when you are able to be in acceptance of where they are at in their journey, you then will align to the wisdom of that dimension. You will then align to a dimension, to the guidance that will best be for their highest good. That will be in a certain wisdom guidance based in love, that will be in words, and then those words will be able to spark even more activations within them. You may feel inspired to speak certain truths. You may be inspired to even say nothing. Understand that you will be guided on what to say, what to do in your actions, if you can be open from a perspective of love. Because when you are in paradigms of love, you then open further the gateway to the divine wisdom that runs through you and all beings. You call these your spirit guides. You even call it my essence, which you have called Archangel Zadkeil. All these beings are you. It is only a perception of duality where you perceive us as external to you. Understand that all this wisdom that we speak is the very same wisdom that is accessed within you. If you can align to that love state, then you'll be able to be guided to say the right words, to provide the right support, to assist others in their fear.
Thank you.
My pleasure, D1. Understand that sometimes also the words that you speak may trigger others. At times you may be inspired to say something that may catalyze them. Understand that this is also meant to be for them, for their evolution. So let go of attachments. If you end up triggering someone, understand that this was necessary. Be compassionate with yourself and be compassionate with those who react in fear. D1s.
Hi, this is Shazy. I have a question.
Hello, D1.
So this question, look, might trigger someone, but I feel it's important that I speak up, and also I need clarity on this. And I've also read up a little bit about you, that you also help with forgiveness. So I need a bit clarity on forgiveness. Thank you for this. So I've previously been abused twice, once by my ex-husband and once recently by my brother. Ex-husband, sure, I divorced him. I stood up for myself and I said no to violence. But brother, you know, I can't divorce my brother because it's family. So I've stepped away from someone who can harm me in a significant way, physically and emotionally, which means then I chose not to speak to my brother ever again. And I understand why he's done that. You know, it is his soul lesson to teach me certain things, to step up into my power so I can stand up for myself. I've forgiven him, and I've also been very compassionate towards him and his physical health issues, his mental struggles and drug abuse that he's currently going through. So I understand, like, he did this ritually to help me step more into my power so I can stand up for myself. But if choosing not to speak to someone, is that not considered forgiveness? Because look, I send him Reiki every time I'm giving myself Reiki. I also send it to him and my family for love and to help him transcend and transmute, you know, these negative energies and help him see more love perspective in his life. I also have him in my prayers for healing. So I pray for his better health all the time. Like even yesterday, I sent him a very long Reiki session. But does that mean I have truly forgiven him, even if I don't want to talk to him, I want him in my life? Like, what I'm trying to say is, it's still forgiveness if you don't talk to that person or want that person in your life. Because I always feel I get told off by family or other family members or friends that, look, he's still your brother, he's still your family. You know, why are you being so arrogant? Why am I being so unreasonable and not understanding? Why am I constantly being judged, like, for being, you know, not understanding enough or egotistical, because I don't want that person in my life? You know, so I feel like I have to keep fighting people with their old beliefs. Not really fighting, but just like, I have to stand up for myself and go, look, I don't want that person in my life, because if they can harm me in such a way, I don't want to talk to that person. Having said that, I've forgiven him. I do send him Reiki, but you know, these old beliefs, I feel like I always have to stand up for. Yeah, so I kind of just need a little bit more clarity. If someone's toxic, family or not family, like, I always believe it's always okay to say no to violence, but is it still forgiveness if I don't talk to that person?
Yes, my dear one. And how far you have come in you being able to, with all your experiences, to be in a perspective of love for what is occurring, understands that it required you to be so courageous. It required you to be more vulnerable, to take these actions in forgiveness. So first, be compassionate with yourself. Understand how powerful you are just in you being able to see these higher perspectives, my dear one. Forgiveness does not mean you have to be in a physical vicinity with those people. Forgiveness is an energy. You can forgive them, and that by that action, it releases our attachment, an attachment of energy that is formulated with the energy of resistance. By you forgiving others and their actions, you let go of that resistance, and it opens the gateway for you to see the gifts within it, for you to remember that you are loved and that they are loved. Just because you acknowledge that they are loved and that you are loved, it does not mean they have to be permanently in your physical life. You can wish them well from afar. You can love them from afar. Understand that what the most important dynamic is your own self-love, is your own self-worth. Yes, by you being in a point where if this person comes in your physical vicinity, and if you can be in a point of love, then we would say this is a test to you to show you how much you have expanded in the paradigm of love. However, it does not mean you have to you don't have to always put yourself in that situation to prove a point. It does not mean you have to follow, we would say, beliefs of others in your family here. Understand that within family systems are certain beliefs, and understand that these beliefs are conditioned, and beliefs can be from a limited perspective. So understand that if family are criticizing certain actions, and understand also that it is also for you. And yes, it is for you to become into and blossom more of your authentic self, to be able to use your voice more in love. And by you being able to use your voice more in love and to be able to express more of who you are, it does not mean you have to express that in a physical sense, in a physical location. So my dear one, listen to the guidance within. If you are not called to reach out physically to certain people, if you are not called to be in physical vicinities of others, then listen to that guidance. But we would say to take note of why you are resisting. If it is resistance or if it is from a point of love. Are you not wanting to be around people because of the perspective of fear? And if you have a perspective that perhaps they will harm you again, or is it just because you are guided not to be with this person out of love? See, there is a difference here. There is a difference in action steps, and both action steps are not wrong here. But one action step is based in fear and another one is based in love. So you see, it doesn't matter what decision you choose. It's about being aware of the foundations of that choice. Is the choice out of fear or out of love for yourself?
That's exactly what I discussed with myself last time. I had to be in the physical presence of my brother, and I had to, go, where is this coming from? Am I scared that he's going to hurt me again? And the answer was no, I'm not scared, because I'm meeting him in front of family and everyone's going to be around. So I feel safe and protected and supported by everyone else as well. So I don't think he's going to repeat his actions. But there's just something in me was constantly like, I don't want this person in my life whatsoever. I want to continue feeling love around me, and I'm going to do everything to feel love around me. So I guess that's where it came from.
Then you have your answer, D1. But
it's just hard to make others understand this. Like, it's really hard to make family understand this, that it's okay. I still have forgiven this person, but I don't want that person in my life, and I don't want to see them in my life.
But understand also that they are here for you and they trigger you for a reason, because you're part of a soul family. So forgiveness for this person who has hurt you, and forgiveness for the family who is also hurting you in your perspective, and in the perspective they don't understand your perspective. Understand that it's okay that they do not see your perspective, because you are multidimensional beings, because you are vibrating a dimension of love and acceptance, and perhaps they are vibrating in dimensions based in fear. But understand that this is not wrong. This is part of their journey. And by you being the light, by you being the way shower, you actually assist your whole family and those around you to remember more of who they truly are. And also know that this may change. Understand that even now you are called not to be around physical presence of certain people. Understand that you may be guided to then change that and to be in the physical vicinity. So understand it's not permanent, but it is the stage for your evolution at this current point of time in your journey. It's about being malleable. It's about being open to changing directions. And it sounds like you have your answer, my dear one. Trust the answer, trust the guidance. If you are ever in doubt, bring it into your heart space and ask that dimension, ask that aspect of you. Am I doing this action out of fear or out of love? Then you'll have your answer.
Yes, absolutely. I also feel it's very important to be compassionate to the family who are questioning it, or friends who are questioning these things. I do make them understand the points where I'm coming from, but at the same time, I'm always loving towards them, and, make sure they're also cared for at the same time, because they're speaking from their old learnings and their old past beliefs that they've grown up with. So that's totally okay. They're showing me a different way, a different perspective, and I'm really grateful for that.
My dear
Thank
one.
you, by the way. Thank you for your clarity as well.
Thank you for using your voice. For you using your voice here today, you are assisting many others who are going through similar journeys. So by you just doing that, you allow yourself to even be more expand into the truth of who you are, into your soul purpose here.
I have a question.
Yes, dear one.
It's kind of relates to what was previously talked about. The question is, how can we love others without compromising ourselves? Like, what's that boundary? So just to give an example, I have a friend who has a lot of fear in terms of what's happening with COVID. And I would get upset that she was so afraid. And I've worked through that a lot, to where if she said something, I feel that I won't respond in fear. So the question is, I asked myself, do I still feel like I want to be in her physical vicinity? I feel like I do. But for example, if she invites us over, she wants everyone to wear a mask. And maybe it's a belief I have, I don't really agree. I just feel like there's parts of me that maybe feel like, oh my gosh, there's so much fear here. So, but I want to, because I love her more than I care about the belief I have about the whole COVID thing. So can you give some advice on that? What is the boundary there?
My dear one, in higher truth, there are no boundaries. In higher truth, you are one. My dear one, first, it is about being acceptance for others who are in dimensions of fear, who are in dimensions of resistance. Understand that if this triggers you, then they are mirroring a belief system within you, a judgment within you, a paradigm of fear that is within you, for all dimensions are within you. It is reflecting a dimension that you have not embraced into unity consciousness. It is showing you a dimension that you have not shone light on, my dear one. Understand that whenever you are triggered, it is a gift. When you are triggered, it does not mean you have to suffer and then vibrate in a dimension of fear and suffering. All it is a messenger. So if you can appreciate and be grateful for the messenger, you'll be able to let go more of the resistance to those that trigger you. For you to acknowledge that you love this person more is a recognition that this person is you. So understand that if they are triggering you, this is perfectly for you. And this will assist you in your evolution. This will assist you in opening further your heart center. And this will assist you in vibrating in further dimensions of oneness and love remembrance. So we would say, when you are in a position where you are being told certain rules, when you are being told how to act, how to behave, what is your resistance there? Are you resistant to the belief that you are being controlled? Are you resistant to the perspective that this person is in fear and why can't they see higher truths in what is happening? Look for what is underneath that triggering event. Look for the fear. Look for that dimension that is residing within you, that is now bubbled up to the surface for you to address. Are you in your own life able to let go of control? If you are being triggered by a perception of being controlled, then perhaps you are having some dimensional challenges in letting go of control in your everyday life or in certain aspects of your life. There is always a correlation here to when you are being triggered to certain paradigms within you that perhaps have laid in your unconscious awareness, or perhaps you've only seen one angle of it. So all these events allows you to see the event, allows you to see the paradigm of fear within you from many different angles. And once you can see it from many different angles, you then unite it. And then it is then when you are able to be in loving acceptance of it, and then it transmutes into, you would say, the oneness, remembrance, and love that you are. So if you can let go of the resistance of a perception to be controlled, then you will no longer have resistance to any rules and control here. You'll be able to be lovingly acceptant of people's actions here and people's rules. And you may be able to be at a point where you, even though you may not agree with certain decisions, you'll be able to let go of that resistance and understand that this is for you and it is for the people involved. And understand that it is in this action of letting go of control, it is in this action of surrendering to the actions that are occurring and the actions that are required from you by you taking action from a point of love and acceptance, then that is where your expansion is from. It is not about resisting and trying to fight the perception of control and what is preferred and what is not preferred. Understand that it is just a game here, and it all plays here assisting you in allowing you to activate more awareness within you. Of course, you may be at a point where you can be in a point of love here and total acceptance of this. And you may feel guided and you may prefer not to join in certain activities or join in certain meetings with people because of where you are at vibrationally. And that is also perfect. Understand there is no wrong actions here. It is all about being aware of what is underneath each action, what is underneath each resistance being triggered within you.
Thank you.
Dear one. Control is a paradigm that much of the collective is experiencing. You have been conditioned as a collective to control your life, and that if others have control over you, you have resistance to it. You have a perception in your society that you can be controlled, that others can control you. Understand that this is a distortion, for you are willingly playing this game here. And because you are not victims here, no one can control you. You always have a choice. Your choice is to see the resistance within you. You have a choice to let go of the resistance, to be in a point of love and acceptance. And that is when the action step will be brought forth to you. This is when the divine wisdom will be brought forth from within you into your conscious awareness, where you will then be guided on the right actions, the right steps to take. Understand there are no wrong or right actions here, because in higher truth of oneness, all is neutral. But because you are playing this game of the human experience, you expand through love, and you are an expression of love in human form. In all your physical forms, you are an expression of love, my dear one. So understand that once you can let go of this paradigm of control, you'll be able to let go more of the resistance in many different aspects of your life experience. And understand that much of this control is unconscious. You want to control your life. This is a normal paradigm, and this was a necessary paradigm for the collective. It was part of your evolutionary journey and is no longer needed. This paradigm is now being transmuted from the collective. So understand that because it's being transmuted, it is coming up to the surface for many in the collective. And this is why you are seeing so much of this fight for control, or this resistance and this perception of people controlling them. This is why you're seeing so much of this paradigm expression in your society, in your reality, because this paradigm of control is now being transmuted through the collective. For it to be transmuted through the collective, it needs to be brought forth to the surface to address. So this is why you're seeing so much division. Control is an aspect of fear. So if you want to further work on the paradigms of control within you, because what you see in your society is a reflection of the one consciousness in the humankind. If you want to assist in others to let go of the control, then you are required to let go of the control within you and let go of the control within your own life. So honestly ask yourself, what are you controlling within your life? Are you controlling your day schedule? Are you controlling what you should eat? Are you controlling what activities you should be doing? Understand that there are many hidden control paradigms here. And it's about knowing that who you truly are and your highest expression is following the inner guidance, the inner wisdom. Even though this guidance, these action steps from the inner wisdom may be perceived to others as wrong, may be perceived to not fit into society, and this is okay. You may perceive that acting on certain guidance is maybe not right for you or is right for you, but understand that the guidance is from a dimension of the all-knowing. So you do not, in your point of expression, you may not be able to see the full picture, why you were guided to take certain action steps, why you have been guided to, for instance, eat certain food, to do certain actions, to speak certain words, to provide certain messages, to provide certain activities. It is about trusting that inner guidance. and to know that is coming from a place of all-knowing divine guidance is when you know your inner vibration in a dimension of love. And yes, you can be in a dimension of love and still have some fears. That is okay. But it's when you're in the majority of love, when you can see in the majority that everything is happening for you. This will reflect back to you your emotions. You'll be able to know if you're in a dimension of love because you will feel you have less resistance. You will feel more joyous. You will feel more free in your physical reality experience. So understand that by being in a dimension of love, by you being able to go inwards to see the control paradigms that perhaps you are still exploring here, you actually are then assisting others to let go of their control because you are all connected. That is how powerful you are. Can't you see? You do not have to change others' perspectives. You do not have to change other people's lives. You do not have to try to force a perspective change in others. For you to assist in the change here is for you to change within yourself. Once you can be in that point of love, you can, in your creative play here, connect to that person non-physically, connect to the collective non-physically. You can send love. As you know, your intentions are imprints of energy. Make your intention when you go inwards, make that the intention to also assist with the collective. The collective consciousness runs through you. You are connected. So if you let go of the control within you, let go of the resistance within you, you also assist the collective. So all the work you need to do is go inwards. And by the majority doing this, there'll be enough energy, enough love, dimensions being birthed into this reality where it will actually change the whole collective. And this is what is occurring. This is why there are so many of you awakening to more of who you are and your abilities, because you have the very important job of awakening the collective by you doing your inner work. So understand this work is not selfish. Understand that by you working on your own frequency, by you addressing dimensions within you, by you focusing on you first and the love within you, you are assisting those around you and you are assisting the collective. Of course, you may be inspired and guided to take certain actions for the collective, but it first starts with you, going within you.
Thank you. That does make sense. I tested that a couple of days ago and I did see that occur. So yes, I'm going to keep doing that. Thank you.
Understand that you have the creative abilities here. Because you are connected to all that is, you are connected to the collective, you can experiment. There are many different tools here. You can visualize those that you wish to assist here, but by you being able to assist others in a conscious playground, in a conscious game that you can play, is to first accept where they are. If you can be in loving acceptance of their journey, be in acceptance of their level of awareness, so to speak, their point of suffering, if you can be loving acceptance of it, you are more free, so to speak. You have more energy resources to assist that other person. You can visualize that person. You can wish them your heart energy. You can connect your heart energy to their heart energy. You can play here. There are so many tools here that you can play with. Understand that when you visualize, you are tapping into a dimension. So understand that you can be experimental here with your visualizations. You can visualize the people you wish to assist in your mind's eye. You can envision their heart opening with your love, with your intentions. You can imagine the purple flame of transmutation. You can imagine this flame transmuting the densities that no longer serve them. You can use this practice for yourself, a transmutation process. Understand that you are God creators here. Understand that because you are God creators, you have the ability to enact change, not only in yourself, but in others. But understand first, for you to be in that point of creation in a fully open state, for you to be that open channel of assistance for others, you first need to address what is within you, to allow you to be that clear channel for others, that clear vessel to assist in their healing and evolutionary journey. You are the light workers and the Wayshowers, and as such, you have the calling to assist others in certain ways. But understand that you, just by being the light, you assist others, my dear ones.
Hello, I have a question.
Yes,
I've always, okay, so the question is, what are different ways of evolution of the cell? So many times as humans, we wonder, how do we leave a legacy, or how do we leave, our legacy? Or I guess either you choose mortality in a human body, or you pass on your evolutionary learning through different ways, either by raising a vibration, because I personally believe we're multidimensional beings. So everything that we learn is passed on through our learnings, through our cells. If we make it into a habit, it becomes part of our cells, and we pass that learning through different lives that we're living, and also to source as well, because that's how powerful we are. So one of the ways for evolution for us is raising our vibration, having a child, or passing on your learning through yourself, through your DNA, or writing a book, for example. But what are different ways of evolution, and why is it so important for humans to leave a legacy as such?
my dear one, you are already leaving a legacy just by you existing here on Gaia. So understand, you don't have to do a certain action to leave a legacy, because understand, by you living and breathing in this time of great awakening, you are creating a legacy. You are creating an evolutionary shift, because by you vibrating here, because of your energy, because of your collective purpose here, because of your intentions, because of your willingness to be born here in this time continuum, for you to live in this reality of illusion, of perspective, of fear, by you being able to embrace your reality. My dear one.
Would you please repeat that? The screen just got stuck.
Yes, the energies can be quite intense sometimes. Understand. Your purpose, ultimately as a collective, to embrace your reality, that is enough to leave a legacy, so to speak. By you embracing the dimensions, perceived dimensions and distortions in the human paradigm based in fear, and also embracing the truth of who you are as love, you are changing human DNA. You are shifting the collective consciousness, not just the consciousness, but also in form. This is your legacy. This is how powerful you are. Yes, you may be called to birth a child. You may be called to write a book, but understand that these are part of your perceived individual soul contracts here. If you're called to do certain of these activities and it is for you, it does not mean that you have to do these to leave a legacy. You are already doing that. You have already done that just by you not giving up on life, just by you being here. By you understanding that this reality is for you. You are leaving the legacy. You are the light workers and the Wayshowers. You have an active part here in assisting the human evolution to transform not only the consciousness, but also the human form. Because in your very vessel, because we would say the consciousness and the body is connected. You cannot change the consciousness without the physical form being affected here. And as such, because of the collective shift, which you are actively playing a part in by you being here, you are activating certain aspects in your DNA, in your physical bodies. You are allowing more light in your cells. You are allowing certain aspects of your DNA to be activated that will transform the very human vessel, to allow the true unlimited powers of who you truly are beyond human form to be expressed through your form. Yes, because you're much more than human. You have the galactic DNA within you. You have God DNA within you. You have from every expression from the single point of source origin, as source expanded out in its evolution, in its journey to witness itself and to witness its creation, you have all these imprints. You have all these different forms of the oneness expression within you. And this is why in this time of great awakening, you are activating this next stage of your evolution within your very physical bodies. This is why there are so many of you are having certain abilities come online. Know that they were already within you. Know that these codes are already within you. It's just because now of this collective shift, they are now being activated within you. So understand that you do not need to do anything. Know that you are actively changing human evolution. You are assisting in the evolution into oneness remembrance just by you being here, dear one. That is how powerful you are. You may perceive that you are not assisting the collective or you are not assisting enough. But understand there are so many different dynamics happening that you cannot see. So many dynamics that are happening just by you being willing to embrace your dimensional experience, just by you being able to address those paradigms of duality within you, just by you having courage to unite yourself in oneness, by uniting all your dimensions within you, by being in loving acceptance of all the dimensions of all beings in your reality. This is how powerful you are. By you doing your inner work, your soul work, you are expanding even further the evolutionary shift. This is all you need to do. And along the way, you will be called to do certain actions. But understand these actions do not have to be grand, or they may be grand, but understand that each guidance step that is brought to you, each action, each project that you're called to do will be activated within you. You'll have the knowing, you'll have the wisdom of this project or projects when you're vibrationally ready. But understand you don't have to do big projects for you to assist the collective, because everyone's soul journey is unique. Everyone's soul purpose is unique. You have your individual soul purpose as an individual perspective, projection of source, and you have purposes as a collective, as a one in the human race. So you are already shifting the collective consciousness just by you embracing who you truly are and by embracing the truth of all others. This is what is the only thing that matters here. By you remembering more of who you are, by embracing your emotional dimensions. Understand that your emotions herald dimensions. It is through the emotions where you create your reality, where you can access and view your dimensional experience, where you can transform your dimensional experience, where you unite more to oneness remembrance. These are powerful technologies that the human race have access to. Therefore, all emotions, therefore, all actions are tools for you to remember your God state. It is about embracing all of these technologies and understanding that there are no wrong technologies here. It is all happening for you to allow you to play in this expansive game of physical reality, to expand the human collective and to expand all that is. You are not only expanding the human collective, you are expanding all the collectives and all the worlds and all the universes. You are expanding source itself because you are source. You are a projection of source, a unique frequency of source with your own unique technologies available to you. You have the same human technologies, but you also have unique abilities and wisdom that is sourced from your multidimensional life experience. Understand, as you expand this lifetime, you're expanding all your realities, all your dimensional realities at once. You are then expanding all of your multidimensional lives and all your existences. There is a thread that connects all lives and all dimensions. And understand that your multidimensional self, you that exists in a dimension that's already enlightened in remembrance, that already is aware of who they truly are, already exists. And they are assisting you in this lifetime. All the dimensions of you in this reality assisting you in this life. There is a thread here, and all you are connected with all your lives. Understand how powerful you are. Understand you are much more than a three-dimensional perspective. You are much more. You are much powerful than you can ever conceive. And this is why the current shifts are required for you as a collective to remember this for yourself.
That's very interesting that you say that, because when I was younger, I would always, like say 19, 18, I would always think is like, oh, how can I defy death? I'm already doing that with my existence, because that's a very good point. None of the learnings that we do here are ever gone wasted or ever gone, you know, with us when we die, because they all become part of, yes, the collective evolution, but they also become part of source and also become part of all our multidimensional life. So just by existing, we're defying death already, you know. Thank you for reminding me of this.
Nisha, there is no such thing as death, only a transition to another dimension. Only a perception of death is an illusion. You may lose a physical form, but your essence remains. And your focus will be then in another dimension. Understand that you're always free. Understand that you're always creating in every moment with every word that you speak, every action that you take. You are creating just by you experiencing physical reality. You are so advanced, you get to create and experience your creation. That's how advanced you are. You get to consciously play this game and experience it and be witness to your own creations. As God beings, you are the masters here, and it is time where you're remembering this for yourself.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, D1.
Thank you for coming through. I have this question that keeps popping up. I don't know why, but it's related to emotions of fear. And when I go into my emotions of fear, I can feel like there's crystals of anxiety in my body. Is that an image that I'm just creating, or is some truth to that? That there is some kind of crystalline structure to resistance and fear.
Mighty One. All paradigms or dimensions exist in certain patterns. You have referred to this as sacred geometry. Your very universe is created by certain patterns, certain energy forces that creates consciousness itself, and that allows it to be expanded upon itself to create further beings and to create further dimensions, to allow the ultimate purpose of source to be born and to be expressed and to be experienced. In human form, you are expression of these patterns, of the sacred geometry, of the source cell creating itself, expanding itself in many different shapes, in many different patterns to assist its evolution process. So understand that you are not physical. You may perceive yourself to be physical because you exist in a paradigm of physical reality. It is just, we would say, a program, so to speak, that allows you to have a perceived physical experience, allows you to have a perception of the external and the internal, to allow you to be witness of your physical reality, to allow you to be a witness of your creation. So understand that this is for you, but understand behind the structures of your physical reality lies energy, and all energy, we would say, has codes within them, and all creation of energy and all codes are shaped in certain patterns to assist in the expansion of the collective. So my dear one, by you being able to witness these certain patterns and dynamics of what energy is, you are now starting to open your eyes to the truth of who you are, that the truth of who you are is divine energy, that the truth of who you are is source energy, expanded and projected and created in the most beautiful, we would say, creational patterns and shapes to allow you to express fully your purpose here in this physical reality. Your very DNA has certain shapes that mirrors the shapes of what you see in nature. You can see certain patterns that correlate to your very DNA, that you can correlate to the stars. There are many different patterns here in your reality, and these patterns are clues to you of who you truly are, that you are truly one. So yes, my dear one, you do have certain structures in your energy field, so to speak. There's certain programs within you that allows you to be expressed in a physical form, takes shape in energetically wise in certain shapes, in certain patterns. And this is what you are seeing. You are seeing the building blocks of who you are. Can't you see how far you have come, my dear one? It is because you have been willing to embrace more of who you are. It is because you have been willing to dive into the dimensions of duality and fear within you that you are now being able to see the truth of who you are. This is the path for all beings. And if all beings are able to embrace the fear within them, then everyone will be able to see the truth of who they are in their reality. And it's happening for all of you on many different dimensional realities, different aspects, and in many different perceived time frames in relations to your purpose here. So understand that if you're seeing certain dynamics of your reality, understand it is for you and for your soul purpose. And understand that this is why the collective, and this is why you also personally are being called to address these distorted dimensions within you based in fear, because it has required you to embrace these dimensions where you can discover the true nature of your reality, when you can discover, remember more of who you truly are. Because by you embracing these dimensions, you then vibrate more in a oneness state. And if you can be vibrate in a oneness state, meaning that you have less need to vibrate in dimensions of fear, you are uniting those and transforming those dimensions in love and acceptance. You are then able to tap more into the oneness wisdom, the source wisdom. And by tapping into more of your oneness state, you are then able to see less distortions in your reality. You are then able to see more of the divine world in which you exist. You are then able to see more of your divine gifts, and you are able to see who you truly are in your reality, what your reality truly is. So understand that this is for everyone to explore in different dimensional time frames, so to speak, in your perception of time, according to what you chose to explore here. So understand, my dear one, understand that you are opening that gateway and that you have reached a certain level of your expression, of your awareness, where you're now able to see past the veil of physical reality. So trust the guidance, trust in this exploration, and trust the journey going inwards, and you'll discover more wisdom and more gifts within you.
Thank you very much. I have a small follow-up question then. I see rotation and spinning and cycles and spirals as patterns that occur throughout the atoms and the universe, the galaxies, in light itself. Is that only one of the structures that makes up the universe, or is it like a fundamental structure? Yeah.
My dear one, there are various structures depending on different programs, but we would say the sphere is the very base, the very foundational shape of your reality. Consciousness expands, and there are many different patterns of expansion and shapes depending on what stage of consciousness expression it resides in and is expressed through. So understand that there are different patterns, but fundamentally there is a seed of life, flower of life, fruit of life. These are different expressions of the sphere. These are expressions of consciousness expanding to such a point that allows and triggers certain consciousness to be further expanded upon and to create. But understand there are many different elements here. Understand there are many different programs coming into play here, but understand that there are fundamental shapes within the universe, building blocks, so to speak, but it becomes expanded upon itself. So understand that this is why, by you existing in this reality, you exist in a reality in many brilliant shapes and colors, because you have expanded in your perception of time so much from your single point of source origin. And this is why you are living life in such an expanded way in many different experiences of physical reality, in many different experiences of physical form, because you have created yourself so many times over, because you have lived so many lives and are living so many lives, that you are now able to see other sides of your experience. The sphere represents, we would say, a perception of being able to see all the perspectives of reality. As you expand through different realities, you may only perceive things out of one dimension. And as you live your life, as you expand through all the lives you are living, as you remember more of your oneness state, your consciousness, your experience evolves into a sphere. And by you being able to vibrate in that remembrance of who you are, to be able to see all the angles of your reality, you then come to a point of remembering that you are source. We would say your human comprehension of the full picture of who you truly are cannot be fully comprehended in your current point of awareness. But understand that for you to receive the clues, for you to understand more of who you are, is to see these patterns, is to see the correlations here, is to see the patterns in nature and how they correlate to your physical bodies. Go and experiment, go and explore, and you'll be able to see these patterns within you and your reality. And this connection will allow you to activate more of this oneness remembrance within you.
Thank you very much.
Understand that you are always moving. And yes, my dear one, the cell is a fundamental expression of consciousness, and it is the same shape as the building blocks to your physical body here. The cell is energy and it vibrates in certain codes, just like all the dimensions, just like the universe and all that is. You can look further into this and see all the correlations here that assist you to remember more of who you are. For one is the same as all others. Because you are a reflection of all that is, your physical representation is a physical expression of the oneness consciousness, of the sphere. And this is why you have cells shaped as spheres within you. And this is why you have also patterns certain programs within you that reflect other shapes. Understand that you are the very expression of source consciousness and all the different dimensional expansions that you have lived and are living throughout all your timelines, dear one. You are much more than a human vessel, and it's now when you are activating this truth for yourself.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Dear ones. Is there any other questions before we finish here today? Dear ones, understand that everything is happening for you and for your collective evolution and your perceived individual evolution. So no matter how intense it gets, no matter how challenging it gets for you, understand that these are challenges that you chose to explore because you knew how powerful you were coming into this lifetime. You knew that you had all the technologies within you and the expansion and we would say the vibration that you hold within you coming through into this timeline, knowing that by your existence here, by you being birthed through Gaia in this timeline, you are actively engaging in the biggest collective evolution ever seen in the humankind. This is how powerful you are. So remind yourself of who you are. Remind yourself that you are source expressed in a perceived human form, but you are much, much more, my dear ones. Understand that this shift of consciousness is being reflected in the shifts within society. As above, so below. As within, so without. All is connected, my dear one. So understand that any shifts that you see that is external to you is also happening within you, within your consciousness. So if you want to assist others, then go inwards and unite more dimensions within you by accepting all within you, by accepting all your dimensional experiences. If it comes up to you in the moment, it is for you, to show you a gift there, to show you a lesson that you have not yet addressed, to allow you to activate more of your divine power, to allow you to activate more of the wisdom of your galactic nature and your multidimensional expressions of oneness in physical form and beyond who you are in physical form. Know that you are never alone. Know that you are at the forefront of this collective shift. Know that your journey here is to expand the consciousness of all that is. And you do that first and foremostly by going inwards, by addressing the dimensions within you that become triggered in your conscious awareness. This is the work. You do not have to suffer through this work. Understand that all emotions are for you. All beliefs are for you. Because if they come to your surface, it means you are ready now to let go of them. So embrace your journey. Be grateful for your journey. Be grateful for the collective evolution shifts that's happening. Understand there is much going on here behind the scenes. And what you may see as chaos is actually divine by design, by you, co-created with all that is. You are all in this together. You are one. Practice seeing the love in all others, but first and foremostly, start seeing and embracing more of the love within you. It is with love that we come through today. Understand that we are you. We are one. You are source and you are love. Until next time, farewell.